Hello and thanks for joining us on Africa in View. My name is Nyamgul Agaji and I'm not alone as usual. I'm here with my colleagues today.
Hi, I'm Aghogho Ayanagho. Nice to be here once again.
And I'm Olamide Onwuka. It's a pleasure to be here as usual. And I've got fantastic guys as usual. Nyamgul, I always ask this question. What's the plan for?
I think, today I'm going to actually say, no.
All right,
you always ask Nyamgul. I mean, what's this brotherhood in... I don't understand. Nobody is asking me how's my week or how did I spend the day. What's it?
First of all,
I don't know how the week goes for a babe. So
I think we already know. Yeah. So there's no point asking.
I'm that savage.
we don't want to bring some things that should be in the darkness.
Get me out of this set. I'm not doing this again with this man.
But when you guys were introducing yourselves, I was seeing some wonderful smiles, and I was wondering, it's like the week has been good for you guys. So. Maybe you will share the update after the program.
Don't worry. I got you.
Okay.
I got you.
Okay. But interestingly, today we're looking at insecurity in our nation, the nation Nigeria. It doesn't mean that it's only Nigeria we'll be talking about on the show. The show is about Africa. But when it happens very close to home, we usually like to bring it to the fore. We've seen pockets of security issues here and there, and the federal government has always said that they are winning the war against banditry and insurgency. Well, the figures may say otherwise. That's what we'll be concentrating on today on the show. And we also are going to be taking you on a ride to Kilimanjaro or Kilimanjaro. How do they even pronounce it? Is it Kilimanjaro or Kilimanjaro?
It's Kilimanjaro for the native.
Kilimanjaro. Okay,
Kilimanjaro.
But you've heard that. If you went to primary school in our time, it would be part of the rhymes that you had. It would be part of the history of Africa that you learned. I don't know whether they still teach it now. It's the highest mountain in Africa. Also, it's a sight to behold, and we encourage you to visit it. So we'll take you on that ride to show you Kilimanjaro and help you make the decision next time you're taking a vacation. Maybe you'll just have to look at that. But even as we have so much to discuss today, let's take a look at some of the headlines that made it to the front pages of our daily newspapers, and our media houses carried it as well. So the news now, before we go back to other things.
The Abia State government is set to unveil a new economic policy promoting made-in-Abia products to boost local production and reduce external procurement, according to Commissioner OK Kanu. He also announced the completion of a teacher recruitment exercise involving over 7,000 candidates with a 30-man panel including professors and education experts overseeing the final phase. Northwest states have rejected the Arewa Consultative Forum's ACF's call for emergency rule in a banditry-hit areas, warning it would undermine democracy and affect nearly the entire region. Officials from Zamfara, Kebbi and Sokoto emphasized the need for collaboration and support, not suspension of democratic governance, while Afenifere urged the federal government to redesign the security architecture and push for state police. In response to recent attacks that killed over 50 people in Boko's local government area of Plateau State, Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede convened a peace meeting with local stakeholders to promote reconciliation and lasting peace. Governor Caleb Mufwang condemned the violence as coordinated crimes, with the army pledged fairness, more security deployment, and the prosecution of perpetrators. The federal government is reassessing economic strategies in response to the 14% U.S. tariffs on Nigerian imports, with Finance Minister Wale Edun stating that key assumptions in the national budget are being reviewed. Edun emphasized that while the tariffs present challenges, they may also offer opportunities, and Nigeria will respond strategically to ensure economic stability and growth. Crude oil prices have dropped over 12% to about $65.50 per barrel following President Donald Trump's new trade tariffs impacting oil-dependent countries like Nigeria. In response, the Central Bank of Nigeria injected $197.71 million into the forex market to maintain liquidity and stability amid global economic shifts. Zimbabwe's President Emmerson Mnangagwa has suspended tariffs on U.S. imports to improve ties with President Donald Trump's administration days after Trump imposed 18% tariffs on Zimbabwean imports. Critics like analyst Tendai Mbaje and journalist Hopewell Chinono argue the move mainly benefits the U.S. and is an attempt by Mnangagwa to gain sanction relief. Rwanda on Monday marked Kwibuka, the annual remembrance of the 1994 genocide that killed over 800,000 people, mostly Tutsis, during a 100-day massacre by Hutu extremists. This year's commemoration, though, was overshadowed by the M23 militia crisis in eastern DR Congo, where Rwanda is accused of backing rebels who seized key towns. Mali has accused Algeria of sponsoring terrorism after Algeria shot down a Malian drone near their shared border, calling it a hostile premeditated action. In response, Mali and its allies, Niger and Burkina Faso, recalled their ambassadors, withdrew from a regional security pact with Algeria, and claimed the drone was targeting terrorists threatening the Sahel Alliance.
Welcome back. We're glad to know you're still there. It's still Africa in View, and we're talking to you from the perspective of Africans. Whatever happens to us, we bring you the story. We try to discuss about the stories, and we try to see if there are going to be solutions, or we just air out our frustration, if that is what it takes, and all that. On the news now, we saw that Abia State, as a state, is trying to make sure that they jack up their production.
Remember when we were growing up, when we were young, we used to say made in Aba. At a point, the people were not thinking that made in Aba is a bad thing. When you say about it in Aba, my mom used to go to Onisha Market.
China.
Aba made.
Aba made, China made, Taiwan made, and all that. Why is China made?
Better.
Now it has grown. All the phones we're using, Aba made is still there.
It's not there. It even went down because, back then, my mom would go to Onisha Market. I'll go with her. We'll buy things. You see this big market with various different, whatever it is you're looking for.
I know how much get transacted. Billions of naira get transacted. You also have area markets. These are major markets. You have guys who produce a lot of stuffs. Aba literally is the whole Republic Mall. Or a ShopRite mall was an achievement. And then that
was an achievement.
That's
the same governor who said that pregnant women that go
we're giving 5,000.
500.
Was it 5,000? Oh, so Olamide, your blues. So I guess I was just being too generous. 500 naira. And and I'm seeing that I've traveled across different roads in Aba, in Port Harcourt, in the River State, in Abia State. These roads were in deplorable condition. My brother, when it rains, it pours in Abia State. You cannot move anywhere. Cemetery Road, there's a place called Cemetery Road in Aba. There's a place called Cemetery Market. These are commercial hubs. I know how much get transacted. Billions of naira get transacted. You also have area markets. These are major markets. You have guys who produce a lot of stuffs. In that same Aba literally is the hub. If invested, it can become one place that brings a lot of revenue for this country, but it's just dead. But here comes Governor Oti, who realizes the potentials that this place has in terms of helping both the state attract both foreign investments and local production. I mean, it's just something that I have to give kudos to. I have to just give him kudos.
Now I wish Governor Oti had been the next governor after Ojuzo Kalu.
Yeah.
Ojuzo Kalu came at a time where things needed to be done aggressively the way he did it.
Yeah.
And he rid Aba of crime, first of all.
Yes.
And he brought the peace to Abia State. I wish a governor with a vision had followed immediately.
Look, it's been a downward spiral since then.
It came down.
Look, I mean, I know you understand what I'm talking about when I say, like, in the history, it's never been this good. You need to see the body language of Abia State residents.
I know Abia State very well.
This is one governor that I am sure will not, it doesn't even need to contest. He will win again. Do you get what I'm saying?
If he doesn't want to contest, they will contest.
He doesn't need to contest because he will win again. There's no competition. Abia State people, if he continues at this pace, they'll literally tell him that, look, we're not holding an election in Abia State. Just let him continue. That's how bad governance in that state has been.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe you're wondering why we're talking about Abia State and all that. We made it a point to call out the people who do wrong and to say thank you to the people who are doing right.
It's not just bad. Yes, it's not always bad.
If you do right, we will applaud you. That's the beauty of it. If you do wrong, if there are not going to be any consequences from any quarters, we will tell you that you have done wrong. Abia State Governor for today is one of the best governors that we know.
Yes.
He's forward thinking. He's visionary and all that. We hope that all other governors could be like that. I wish that all other governors could be that. Well, even in Lagos, we are saying Lagos is progressive, but we know that Lagos, with the right governance, can do better than it is right now. How much does Nigeria make? How much does Lagos make? The margin is not that much.
Not so much.
When you're talking about Lagos and all that. And it beats me hollow when people keep saying that everybody go back to your place. This is Lagos. This is our Lagos.
We all need each other.
Progresses with indigents.
None. Check it out. That it's actually this. It's the simple truth.
No place progresses. There's no way. Indigents.
There's no way you look at this. The same way you need foreign investors to come in, you also need other resources from even within your country, right? People in Lagos State need investors from Abia State, from River State to come. I mean, think about it. Is it just Lagos residents that own the resources? Majority of the companies that you have running in Nigeria, in Lagos State,
most of the
check it out. Who owns these companies? They relocated
to Lagos State because there was war. So
some statistics will say that most of the companies that are here, the best companies, are owned by Yorubas. We agree. Nobody is contesting Lagos with anybody. Nobody. It's not like America, where the only people who claim to be the owners of America are non-indigents, because the indigents are the ones that they say are not indigents. That's matter for another day. But when you do well, we will praise you. When you do wrong, we will call you out. And Abia State Governor, today we say kudos to you. Now, there's this report about Rwanda marking 36 years or something, almost 40 years of after the genocide.
The genocide.
Yes, 1994 was the year. And if you watch Hotel Rwanda, you'll understand what happened in that place. We in Africa should not needlessly die because of ethnicity or anything, especially the fact that we are being united by a particular color, just that color, which is unique to us, which is maybe everybody else will disrespect us all over the world, but we have ourselves. We shouldn't be killing ourselves. What is happening in Nigeria also should never happen.
Look, it's true.
I don't want a situation where one day we'll be celebrating genocide, anniversary of genocide in a country.
It's just, it is the harsh reality.
The way we are going right now, Rwanda saw 800,000 people killed in 100 days. Are we very sure that if we calculate people that have been killed in Nigeria for the past 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years, Are they not more than 800,000?
I mean,
what are you
only
saying?
This year,
In
only
the southeast,
this week,
the
we've already
southeast,
seen almost 100 dead.
the southeast was talking about the first quarter of 2025. They lost about at least 300 people, and these are numbers that in the north sometimes they kill in a day. So how are you going to say it's 800,000 people? It's just that we don't have data in Nigeria. So some of these things are downplayed. You would not know. But it is a serious issue.
It is.
Very serious.
It's actually a very serious issue.
Please let us not end up. But I'm not sure if we don't celebrate it, it's just because we have taken it for granted. We've taken the lives of people for granted. We don't. Nobody hears news that people have been killed. 200 people have been killed, and you're like, oh, hey, yeah, oh, I'm very. Nobody says. Nobody does that anymore. But imagine the time when the Governor Tom, he was the one in Benue State then, where 70 people were killed at one time. And the whole country was mourning. Yes. We were all, we were crying. Some people were crying and all that. Yes. But now people are dying more than 70 in a night. And nobody even raises an eyebrow because we are used to death. It's terrible. But we'll get to the time where we'll talk more about security and all that. But maybe that's where we'll drop it on the news right now. We'll take a short break. When we return, we'll delve into these matters and bring some statistics of places that have complained already that the security situation is getting worse rather than better. Stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. Like I said, we're going to be looking at the security situation in Nigeria today. The Borno State governor just recently said, I think yesterday, that Borno is being overrun by bandits and insurgents, that they're taking territories in Borno State. In Plateau State, Muftwang, the governor, said that about 64 communities have been sacked by these headsmen or bandits or whatever name you will call them, these criminals that are killing people here and there. Just a few days ago, we heard information from Enugu State that about 40 communities or settlements have been sacked by these Fulani headsmen, and they are occupying these places, and the indigents are too afraid to return to their farms and everywhere. And so many other statistics that we can see is there in the public space. If you want to look for it, you will find it. Now, our concern is the security situation getting better or worse? This is in light of the fact that the federal government has always said, they've maintained that they're winning the war against banditry and insurgency. I don't know if this picture they're painting is the same one you see, Olamide, for instance.
It's obvious from the body language. I mean, the responses, what the governors of these states are saying. I mean, what the leaders of these states are saying. It's a totally different thing that's happening compared to what they're saying. So I think what they're just doing is damage limitation in terms of what they are, what the statement from the presidency. But regardless of the situation, the truth is that, there's still violence everywhere. There's insurgency, there's banditry, there's whatever it is you can call them. This crime and criminality, the vices are there, obviously. Because you look everywhere, it's either one community is getting ravaged by bandits. Some people are being kidnapped by terrorists. Boko Haram is bombing, going to the Nigerian army camps to get their weapons, to kill people, lay ambush on this, that. Every time you hear this and, this keeps breaking your heart. And then you hear the government say, look, we are winning the war against insurgency. How can you be winning when you are losing? I'm trying to understand the situation. So that's just like I said, I feel it's damage limitation. They're trying to calm the people that, look, there's no cause for alarm. Everything is under control. Look, this is what we're doing, which is what the government will do. But then we are not oblivious of the fact that we see a lot of people, a lot of villages, we read on the dailies, people are dying, a lot of things, the Fulani headsmen ravaging, taking over land that doesn't belong to them. These things happen. But then I feel like it's just something that it's a sad development but the crime is not stopping anytime soon. That's just the truth, the simple truth.
I don't know at whose table you will place the blame, Aghogho. Is it the government? And by government, I mean politicians. I'm not just talking about government. I mean politicians. Or is it the security agencies that are not doing their work? Because when you see some of these things happening, the security people are losing their lives.
Obviously.
They're sacking them. They're making more widows nowadays. They are killing people, innocent people that are, it just gives you the impression that there's something more than just the effort of the security forces. And I don't know whether you'll agree with that or not. Will you say it's the security people that are not doing their job?
The first person I will put the blame on, or the first group of persons I will put the blame on, it's or are the people financing this. Because whether we like it or not, let's tell ourselves the truth. Crime is a business. Someone is making money out of it. So, a business is something you put money into and you expect an ROI. So if you don't get it, you stop the business. But for God's sake, these people are using weapons that even our own military don't have. So where is it coming from? Someone is financing that. Someone is bankrolling them to keep doing what they're doing. And then when someone is up there telling you what to do, you can't go against him. I mean, you can't tell your boss to hell with you like, hello, I'm paying you. Whatever it is that's coming in, the money is coming back to you. So when I say jump, you ask me how high. You don't get a say. So one, those are the people I blame first. Then we'll go to the government. Now thinking back, I realized that all these governors that have been talking, the northern governors, I have not, correct me if I'm wrong, I have not seen any of them visit those places and actually talk to these people. Bokos was attacked. The governor has not gone there to physically see what's going on, talk to the remaining people that are alive in the place, and then give a speech from that particular place. I don't know if it has happened, but I've not seen it. I've not seen any of these governors, these northern governors, go there, say, okay, here I am at Bokos, this is what I saw, the people are crying, this, that, okay, we're working on it. I haven't seen. Maybe there is. Maybe later I'll check, but I have not seen. So how do you not tell these people, you're sitting in your mansion, in the governor's lodge, wherever it is, in the state capital, and you're telling these people who are actually there, burying their loved ones, that you're winning the war? Which of the war? Like, try to explain to them, which of the war? The one where they've buried everybody in their family, remaining one person.
In other places, I'm not even sure is governor. We'll be talking about president. Just imagine
let's not go to the president.
A place in America, for instance, that something happens and 200 people die, and Trump will not visit.
The full
full
USA will go on shutdown first.
Just for example,
until Trump gets to the end, or the bottom of whatever cost that.
I mean, look at the plane crash that happened
in Korea.
I'm talking about America. The helicopter.
9/11.
Not 9/11.
The helicopter and
the helicopter and the plane
crash,
collision
yes.
that happened. I mean, think about it. What was the first response of the president? He had to do an on-the-spot assessment to go there and see exactly what happened. I mean, sometimes your sensitivity, the way you handle a situation also matters. I mean, it's okay for me to tell you, look, I feel your predicament from afar. Than being there and,
actually seeing and feeling the
to see the actual expression so people can make their, vent their anger. That's why you're the leader. They say the head that wears the crown is very heavy. Mm-hmm. It's not easy to be the leader or the president of a nation like Nigeria. This is obviously a nation that is divided on many grounds. Ethnicity, politics, religion, different things. Where you have a country that speaks over 300 languages. What does that tell you? It shows you that, look, already from the foundation of this country, there has been division. Right from the foundation of the country, there's been division. So how do you manage the situation? When crime affects a particular crime, what you need to do is make sure that you find a way to manage this situation effectively, which takes us back to the Uromi crime.
Oh, there was serious opera, but I've not seen any opera from these killings, because after the Uromi 16, we've seen a lot of killings. 52 persons were killed in was it Kaduna or Plateau states?
Yeah.
Nobody said anything. We didn't just see the cry for bring out the perpetrators, parade them. That was done for the Uromi 16. In fact, after those people were killed in Uromi, a few days later, we heard that they've apprehended some of the perpetrators, and they were called that, oh, bring them out. There should be a lineup. Let's see them. But then these people, since then, for the past 1 week or thereabouts, people have been killed almost every night.
This still takes us back.
Yet
to
nobody is calling
divided.
for them, for anybody to be perpetrated.
Now,
Nobody.
I think it's beyond security now. It's beyond the security agencies.
It's now a business.
It's now a political thing.
It is. It's always been actually
now a political thing.
Political and ethnic.
Yeah.
Take a look at it.
Because
You forget the business part. The business is also number one.
Well, politics is the business in Nigeria. Politics is the number one business. Religion is the second.
No, but crime is not bigger than both. The crime business is not the biggest.
Well, that's part of the politics. So I am imagining why the Northern elders will not come together and say and call for a state of emergency. Now, don't get me wrong. State of emergency, the real state of emergency is that something happens and you suspend I don't know. I will not say suspend. I don't say suspend the constitution, but you do things that otherwise you wouldn't do.
Drastic action.
Yes, but this meets the parameters for state of emergency in our constitution.
So that now you're thinking about bringing in mercenaries. Maybe it wouldn't have been possible in a normal situation. You're thinking about collaborating with other countries. You're thinking about a lot of things that can make sure that you bring that situation down. And nobody's talking about a state of emergency, the real state of emergency, without necessarily suspending the governor.
I love how you put it, the real state of emergency now, because what warrants a state of emergency when there is unrest in a particular region?
Yes.
That's one of the things.
Killed also.
So look,
a threat to national security.
This is a threat to national security, and it's obvious that with the security architecture that we have in place in this country, we've not gotten it right. Intelligence is a key aspect of security that we don't really have so much of. I'm so sorry to say. We don't have intelligence gathering, proper intelligence gathering.
I beg to differ. I beg to differ.
Yeah.
Because let's say, for example, now, someone tweets something from one place in the south. And 2 days later, the person is apprehended. Like, the person is already being paraded on television. Oh, this person tweeted this, The security people, DSS, have picked the person up. And the person is being taken to court and all that. The next thing you hear, they will sentence, whatever. So how can you tell me there is no intelligence? If the same DSS can fish out somebody that tweeted something from one village in Port Harcourt, how can they not now get those people that are doing videos? No, let's be frank. Let's be frank. These people do videos killing people. So what are we saying?
I may not argue with Aghogho is that if you say you don't have intelligence, it will mean that you don't know these people and you're still trying to find out.
Yes.
You don't have information. But these are people who take chieftaincy titles up north. These are people who come and
These are people that soldiers escort.
They come and collect tax from villages and all that.
What are we not saying?
They have sacked villages, and if you sack a village, you must have someone to superintend.
And they still live there. They still live in the villages.
They are heads in those villages from this insurgency. So why would we say we don't have intelligence? We don't have intelligence the way we want to, but the little one we have, how are we using it?
Look, I feel like you guys, I understand your point and I totally resonate with that. But, I mean, it's still in this same country that you have a military of another country coming in to do a covert operation in this country. And we didn't know.
And they came to pick their person.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
They came to rescue their person.
We didn't know.
No, the point
someone
is...
knew.
Trust me.
Someone knew.
Maybe someone knew.
Someone knew and allowed it.
Because do you know how many covert operations would have happened in this country that we probably wouldn't have known or heard about? What's the level of do you know how porous our land borders are? Do you know how many countries we share borders with on the land? What about the sea? How would you say the land is properly secured? What are the security architecture you've put in place to secure these borders? So when I say security, I'm not just talking about internal security or intelligence. I'm talking about people from outside. How many Nigerians come into Nigeria to perpetrate crimes? How many Chadians come into Nigeria to perpetrate crime? So when I'm talking about intelligence, it goes beyond the borders of Nigeria. Somebody can make an innocent post on social media and you can pick the person up, this person, how intelligent or how educated is this person is about the cyber protection?
Oh, come on, we've
Do you
seen,
know that when
we've
you're
seen
talking
these
about
leaders do
crime,
video now.
you're talking about
We've seen these people do videos
Aghogho.
of themselves and post. Is it not the same posting on social media?
No.
We're saying the same thing.
Yes.
Wait a minute. There's a difference between not catching someone and not knowing that the person is available. The Nigerians you're talking about coming to Nigeria is not because we don't know they come to Nigeria. These are people that we willingly used our money to build railway to their country because our
want them to come.
That, they are it's just the colonial masters that separated them. They are still brothers. They know these things. They come into the country. The problem is that when they know these people because while they know these people who perpetrate the crime, what are they doing to them? A governor will come out and say, what I know, if I say, Nigeria will burn. If we keep talking about security, we'll just weigh ourselves down because there are so many things that you see and you're asking yourself, are these people really, really serious about it? Someone once said that if insurgency persists for weeks, it means that the government is involved. And a lot of things are pointing to the fact that those who should take decisions are the ones who are involved. You want to do this or that, they will tell you that, you want to kill our people, even though you know them. You want to do this or that, our tribe should not be called and all that. We already know. A criminal should not be called by any tribe, by the way. If you're a criminal, you're a criminal. You should be treated like a criminal.
I'll tell you.
And I remember, sorry to cut you, I remember that BBC actually did a documentary on these people in Sambisa Forest. They went there, they spoke with them. I watched the documentary. So why are we saying we don't know where these people are?
The bandit kingpin in the north hosted a Salah celebration just recently and then killed about 15 people just for fun. So it's just like throwing confetti or something. That is his own. He just killed those people for fun. Like this is part of the celebration. So how do you hold an event of that magnitude and our intelligence
are not aware of it?
They know it. That's the problem. Know. So
the question is, are they willing to do anything?
If the political will is not there, I'm not sure. Not everything will happen.
But
Olamide, just because of time that we may not have, if you were to have the ear of the president now to solve the problem of insecurity, where would you start?
I'll tell him this quote, very simple quote. Drastic situations or drastic times calls for drastic measures.
And then the next day
that's what I'll tell him. Look, it's simple. Drastic situations calls for drastic measures. Sometimes you have to be drastic. You have to be radical. You have to ignore the consequences and go and face the challenge head on. Simple. That's what I'll tell him.
What would you say, Aghogho?
I just wanted to advise him. Just know that your job will be on the line after that.
Practice to be aid to president. Maybe one day it will come. So what would you say?
Hello, Mr. President. Just throw a bump in Sambisa Forest.
You're wicked.
Easier said than done, actually.
You said drastic measures. That's not a drastic measure.
It's a drastic measure, but look, sometimes.
I mean, there was operation, this thing in OD.
So, the OD town, okay, we heard
it had its own, but
the truth is that, look, I mean, there are other ways. You don't go guns blazing.
I know Aghogho was joking.
Yeah, anyway, I know.
But it's very close to what could have been done. Did you see a video where the Houthis gathered? Just recently, the Houthis gathered and a bomb was dropped on them. They were gathering for information, instructions on how to attack the next day, and a bomb was dropped. And Donald Trump himself was the one who tweeted, "Oh no, Houthis will not destroy any other place again." He's that crazy. But the thing is, in the 21st century, I do not know why somebody will complain that Sambisa Forest is too big. Because the entire world is a global village. Why not deploy technology? Why not do the thing? I think this is the best opportunity for Nigeria to deal with this insurgency. And I tell you why. We have a sitting president and a vice president that are both Muslims. And if you're talking about religion and you're tying it to insecurity, Islam has had a bad name. I'm not saying Islam is a bad thing, but they have had a bad name because the extremists are within Islam.
Yeah.
So if the president takes a decision now, nobody can say it's because you're not a Muslim. If the vice president is from the north and is also a Muslim, and if they sit together and decide that, you know what, because we don't want this bad name for this religion that we also belong to, they may not be blamed by the Muslims that much, but we will have our solution done. If a Christian sits there and takes a drastic action, trust me, it will not be well with Nigeria.
Look how...
So this is an opportunity we may be missing, and it breaks my heart to see that nothing is being done.
Nothing, actually.
But, well, we're hoping one day somebody with the political will to do the needful will come up and say, you know what, all the northern elders come together, all the northern governors come together. What do you want? Is it that you want your place to be safe, or you want to continue in this way? If they chose the place being safe, they will use their own mouths to say, this is what we need to be done. And it can be done as soon as possible. Because an injury in the north is also an injury in the south. We have people in the north who are,
of course,
trying
related.
to fight. So everywhere in Nigeria should be peaceful. And that is what we're praying for. It wasn't long ago where to think about a bomb was like nothing that can ever happen in Nigeria, but not anymore. Every time we are so used to killings and these security breaches and all that, it is not good for Nigeria. But like I said, we may not get to El Dorado, but one day we'll get to that time where there will be peace. And that's the day that we are hoping will come as soon as possible. But this is how much we can take on the segment of the show. Next is we're going to take you to Kilimanjaro and let you just revel in the beauty of it.
Rising 19,341 feet above the Tanzanian landscape, Mount Kilimanjaro is not just Africa's highest peak. It's an iconic symbol of endurance, mystery, and the relentless power of nature. With its 3 volcanic cones, Kibo, Mawenzi, and Shira, Kilimanjaro is a geological marvel formed millions of years ago by volcanic activity. Yet, it's not just its height that captures the imagination of adventurers and scientists alike. It's the ever-changing ecosystem that stretches from lush rainforests to alpine deserts. The journey to the summit takes climbers through 5 distinct ecological zones, from the humid rainforest where the air is thick with the scent of earth and vegetation, to the alpine desert where the wind howls and temperatures plummet. Each step brings a new challenge. Though the climb is grueling, it's also a battle against altitude sickness, weather, and exhaustion. But for many, the reward is the summit, Uhuru Peak, where the snow-capped peak of Kilimanjaro touches the heavens. Reaching the top is a feat few can claim, but it's a symbol of human spirit's resilience and our quest to conquer the world's greatest challenges. Kilimanjaro stands as a silent sentinel, witnessing the passing of time, the struggle for survival, and the triumph of those who dare to reach its peak. This is an ancient giant, a challenge for the brave, and a symbol of nature's timeless beauty.
Welcome back. That was a beauty, I'm very sure. If you've never had the opportunity to see that, I'm sure that you're just wowed right now about what is happening. I don't know. How are you with heights, Olamide?
I am so afraid of heights. And that's definitely a challenge I'm not looking taking anytime soon. Because, I mean, I don't like, somebody
really?
It took somebody about 9 days to get to the peak of the mountain, and you have to witness different forms of weather situations.
No, that's the whole point.
Humidity. You would literally run out of breath.
You go through the whole
before you get to the snowy
seasons.
peak, which they call Uhuru.
Well, I like the beauty, but I think I'll be watching it on TV.
That's what I want to do.
My experience.
There is no adventurous bone in your body. So for God's sake, climb
I've climbed the mountain before and I know what it is.
Are you sure it's a mountain or a rock?
It's a mountain.
It's a rock.
Both
It's my
rock
mountain.
and mountain.
we will send you as our
Alright,
Please.
you go.
You
All
represent.
paid, all expense paid.
When you see
I'll
our
be
back
there.
concerts, you should have lost a few pounds.
You see, my experience in Obudu
That-
Cattle Ranch,
that-
I drove on a cable car. Man,
Wait, he just shaded me.
don't worry, we'll come back to
I
shading.
didn't.
But I drove
I just
in
said
a
something.
cable car. It
I
was not
almost-
funny. Seeing all, but it was beautiful though.
But the heights.
The height was breathtaking. The canopy walkway or whatever you call it
They are
was
the men
very,
on the
very
show.
beautiful.
But they are the scaredy cats.
We were on this cable car with two army
And you
personnel.
were shaking.
One of them was crying. so I was better than the army person. Inside me, I
Please.
was melting, not just crying.
Oh,
but he was
please.
crying outside.
So
like,
you had Steve.
So you now say somebody you now.
okay, stop crying. This is nothing. Malayo. I was dying inside. I have a phobia for heights. That's the thing. But if there is a controlled atmosphere where I know that I'm safe enough, I can take that journey.
Maybe in
Or
Nigeria.
you should pay
Maybe
for me.
because it's in Nigeria. That's why
No,
you
no,
don't
no.
pay
Cable
to-
car. That was the whole beauty of it. To ride there,
It's-
it was
See
open.
everything,
with
of course.
glasses and all that. It was open and it was beautiful.
But
I
then you
can't
now
do
remembered
that.
all those movies you were watching back then.
Look, anything could have gone wrong. That's me. That's how my mind will start playing tricks with me.
Too
Olamide.
much movies.
What if you are walking in as on this height now? There's nothing covering you on both sides. Look, anything can go wrong. That's what. Do you know how my mind plays
I
tricks
could
with
never
me?
believe that you'll
I'm
be
telling
scared
you.
of
Mine is also that terrible. If I enter water now, once
I'm
it
an
crosses,
overthinker.
once it crosses my knees, I will begin to.
No, for saying
I can't
that.
breathe anymore. And then I'll be thinking of, what if it,
Yeah,
I was just
No,
waiting.
wait. You are a South boy, for God's sake. Don't
Yeah.
tell me
What has
water.
South got to do with water and height?
Yeah.
We grew up in water. We
Did
live
you
in
tell
water.
me,
Excuse me.
did you call me South or you called me Mami Water or something? Because unless
this
you
is-
call me that, then there is no relationship between
I
South
have no idea what he's talking about.
Anyway, we're just having fun here because that is the greatest gift God has given to us. Happiness is a choice. No matter what is happening in our communities, we just still need to find time to smile and to be thankful for the life that we have. If people are dying, we can only pray for God to take their souls and then pray for that political will to do the needful so that our people stop dying. The primary aim of governance is to safeguard the people's lives and their properties. If that is failing, then Nigeria gradually is going into a failed state, and we don't want that to happen to the giant of Africa. But stay safe wherever you are, and until we meet again on this same program another time. It's bye-bye from me, Nyamgul Agaji.
It's bye from me, and I already have my Christmas package.
I'll see you guys later, okay? Bye.
Bye.